Hi everyone. One aspect of most great jazz artists' improvisatory technique is their ability to create long-range lines across several harmonies. Along with giving cohesion to a solo, long-range lines also give direction and structure. They are also an effective means of shifting the emphasis from a vertical approach to a more linear approach to soloing. A vertical approach to soloing evaluates each chord or 2-5-1 progression in terms of the available scales, modes, arpeggios, etc. that may be used over them, with the player then using these elements only over the relevant chord or 2-5-1 progression. A linear approach considers larger sections and sometimes an entire work in a single key and uses the chord notes of the underlying harmony as a basis to be coloured through the creation of melodies using diatonic and chromatic notes. Experienced players typically use both approaches, with perhaps an emphasis on the linear, while beginners tend to rely on the vertical approach for their note choices. Long-range lines are often found at the top of a texture. Although the line may momentarily descend or ascend to other notes, the notes will reconnect in the upper part. Long-range lines may be diatonic, chromatic, or a mixture of both. They may ascend or descend, although the latter is more common as a descending line more readily incorporates the typical resolutions of tendency tones, such as sevenths. An example of the use of long-range lines can be heard beginning at 1 minute 24 seconds of Charlie Parker's solo on Confirmation. The first line begins on this B flat, which may be heard as the sharp 5 of the D minor 7 harmony. The B flat moves through these incomplete lower neighbour notes, one diatonic, one chromatic, to A, the ninth of this G7 harmony, before descending chromatically to this E flat, the third of the C minor 7th chord. After leaping to the C minor 7th 5th degree, the line continues to D, where it's prolonged over the F7 harmony, to then sound here as the third of this B flat 7 chord. Another line begins here on this F flat, the flat 5 of the B flat 7 chord. It then continues to this F sharp, the third of the D7 harmony, before then moving to E, the 7th of this F sharp half diminished 7th arpeggio. The line then moves chromatically from E to end on D flat, the flat 5 of this G7 chord. Throughout these bars, Parker appears to be thinking in terms of the key of D minor, which explains the inclusion of this C sharp over this D minor 7th chord and this B flat over the A7 harmony. D minor is then coloured chromatically and with relevant chord notes over the underlying harmony, such as this E flat over C minor 7 harmony and this F sharp over D7. Despite thinking long range, Parker still ensures that all necessary resolutions occur. The G dominant 7th resolves to the third of C minor 7 harmony. The F dominant 7th resolves to the third of the B flat 7 harmony. The A dominant 7th resolves to the third of D7 harmony, and the D dominant's 9th resolves to the G7's 5th degree. By thinking long range, however, Parker's resolutions sometimes occur after the bar line, thereby helping to avoid the regularity that occurs when all resolutions resolve from the final beat of one bar to the first beat of the next. Another example of the use of a long range line occurs at 2 minutes 20 seconds of Pat Metheny's solo on All the Things You Are. Here the line begins on D flat, the 7th of this E flat 7th chord, and is prolonged before moving to C, the third of A flat major 7th harmony. The line then descends chromatically, first to this A flat and then this G note, the flat 9th and root note of this G minor 7 flat 5 chord, before moving down to eventually end on the major third of this F minor 7 harmony. As with the Parker example, here all of the necessary resolutions occur, with the E flat dominant 7th resolving to the third of the A flat major 7 harmony, the 7th of the G minor 7 flat 5 resolving to the flat third or sharp 9th of the C7 harmony, and the C7th 7th degree resolving to the major third of this F minor 7 chord. Although long-range lines may be used over any chord sequence, for the purposes of this video I will only look at the creation of lines over 2-5-1 progressions. Moving directly from one chord to the next in a 2-5-1 progression essentially produces a standard voice leading paradigm for these chords, where the seventh of one chord becomes the third of the next and the third becomes the seventh, and depending on the chord's inversion, with the other notes essentially moving by step. If we begin, however, successively from each note of the supertonic seventh chord, but now descend diatonically in the upper part, we get the following. Beginning from the supertonic seventh degree, the dominant and tonics harmony notes are now displaced to the second beat. Beginning from the supertonic's fifth degree, the dominant seventh sounds on the beat while the tonic's root note occurs on the second beat. Beginning with the supertonic's third and root note produces harmony notes on the first beats over both the dominant and tonic chords. Doing the same with a chromatic descent produces the following. Now, although harmony notes still occur, other alterations and extensions are introduced. Remember, these examples are used to illustrate a concept. As always, when introducing these ideas into actual solos, the context and other factors need to be considered. The two-note models may also be embellished to create four-note models. For example, here the B is held across the bar and the A flat is anticipated. Four-note examples using diatonic and chromatic notes and leaps to other harmony notes may also be created. And finally, longer examples may be created. I hope you found this useful. Thanks for watching. See you next time.